We have now felt at least one bout of October in each of our last 3 autumns, and this week, the focus of our inaugural edition of Climate Eyes is all about fall temperature trends. We have teamed up with our friends at Climate Central, an organization of leading scientists, including some Penn State grads, to bridge the gap between climate research and you, the weather-wise Pennsylvanians. Now, while 80s are in the forecast for Pennsylvania during the course of this week, it's actually not that uncommon. In the last half century, the average last 80-degree day has actually gotten a bit earlier. Take State College, for example, where the final fall 80 has trended from around October 1st in the 1970s and 1980s to closer to the autumnal equinox since 2000, with the average lying around September 24th. But this is embedded within another tendency for a warming autumn. And in fact, meteorological autumn, the period running from September through November, has warmed by about a degree on average in State College in the last half century, with a similar trend in most other Pennsylvania cities such as Harrisburg, Philadelphia, and even Allentown like here. But in Erie, close to the lake, autumn has warmed by several degrees in the last 50 years or so, due in large part to a more significant warming in those Great Lakes water temperatures. The slightly warmer autumns are due more in part to low temperatures being higher, and that is also contributing to the first fall frosts occurring up to 2 weeks later across the state of Pennsylvania. And here's 2 examples. The average first frost is about 4 days later in the Harrisburg area and up to about 7 or 8 days later in the State College area compared to about 50 years ago. Despite the very warm start to the month, Bradford is actually the only major station in Pennsylvania that should have seen its first frost by now. Elsewhere, it is still a bit earlier than average. So to finish up, here are the average dates of the first autumn frost at the major climate sites across the state of Pennsylvania. As early as the autumnal equinox up in Bradford, in the first half of October for much of the rest of the state, and as late as early November down in the southeast and the northwest corners. It is only a matter of time now, and in fact, some frost could be in store for parts of Pennsylvania in the extended forecast. Well, the details coming up next.